One wrong word about your bank account can end a marriage in minutes. Most couples treat money talks like a hostile interrogation, leading to resentment rather than growth. But by using the specific shared ledger method, you can transform these high stakes clashes into a collaborative strategy that actually builds your net worth. Forget the guessing games and the silence. Here is the exact framework to align your financial future and turn conflict into capital. Technique that the top 1% of couples use to automate their harmony, and it works better than any budget app ever could. So grab a cup of water, make yourself comfortable, and let's get to it. Financial stress is the leading cause of divorce, with nearly 30% of all separation filings citing disagreements, overspending, or debt as the primary factor. It is no wonder we avoid these conversations. When you sit down to talk about money, you are not really talking about numbers. You are talking about your values, your security, and your fears. Here is how you change the dynamic. The first method is what I call the low stakes financial check in, and it is the easiest way to start today without blowing up your weekend. Instead of doing a deep dive into every transaction when you are already stressed or tired, you set a recurring 15-minute window on Sunday morning while you have coffee. My friend Julian tried this with his partner for 3 months, and they went from screaming about credit card statements every other week to actually paying off $20,000 of debt in 10 months. The secret here is not the math, it is the setting. Keep the environment light. Use this time to celebrate a win, like not overspending on groceries, or to simply check the balance of a shared account. When you turn money into a casual weekly maintenance task rather than a monthly emergency, the pressure drops instantly. Think of it like taking the car in for an oil change. You do not wait until the engine smokes to check the fluid levels, right? Okay, so that is the first one. That works for the daily maintenance. But what if you have a real fundamental difference in how you view the world? That brings us to our second point, the values audit. This is where things get interesting because you stop talking about the cost of an item and start talking about the underlying goal. A $2,000 vacation is just a number until you realize your partner sees it as an essential investment in mental health, while you see it as a hurdle to your early retirement goal. Research from the University of Kansas shows that couples who prioritize discussing long term goals together rather than focusing on short term transactions report a 40% higher level of marital satisfaction. You have to identify the why behind the buy. Sit down and list out what you are actually working toward. Is it a house? Is it freedom to quit a soul crushing job? When you frame your budget around your shared vision, spending decisions stop feeling like a personal attack on your lifestyle. Instead of saying you spent too much on dinner, you say, does this dinner move us closer to our goal of buying that house next year? The question shifts from judgment to alignment. If you're finding this helpful, hit subscribe. I drop videos like this every week to help you master your finances. All right, now for the one I have been saving. This is the ultimate level up that moves you from managing money to building wealth. It is the three bucket system. This method, popularized by high net worth planners, separates your money into three distinct categories: your personal, your partner's, and your shared. Here is the catch: you keep the majority of your individual expenses under your own control, and you only share the accounts for the joint goals. A study in the Journal of Consumer Research found that couples who maintain some level of financial autonomy while having a clear joint pool for shared life are significantly less prone to financial infidelity and conflict. You agree on a percentage of income that goes into the shared bucket. This pays the rent, the utilities, and funds the vacation fund. Everything else, that stays in your individual buckets. You do not have to explain why you bought a $5 coffee or new video game, and they do not have to justify a hobby expense. By creating this no questions asked zone, you remove 90% of the friction in a relationship. You are not micromanaging each other. You are collaborating on the big picture. Let that sink in for a second. When you no longer have to audit your partner's small daily choices, you stop feeling like a parent and you start feeling like a partner again. Think about it. The resentment that builds from arguing over small purchases is usually about control, not the actual money. This system gives you both the autonomy to breathe. It changes the entire power dynamic of your relationship. You aren't just roommates anymore. You're two independent adults building a legacy together. So there you go. You have a low stakes weekly check in. You have a values based framework for big decisions, and you have the three bucket system to protect your individual autonomy. Use those three together and watch how quickly your stress levels drop. The most powerful thing you can do is start small this Sunday. Just try the check in. Keep it positive. Keep it focused on the future you are building together rather than the mistakes of the past. You have the tools now, and that's half the battle. If this video helped you, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive into financial psychology. I have a really interesting breakdown coming next week about how to handle the inevitable awkwardness of one partner earning significantly more than the other. That is a conversation most people completely fail to navigate, but I am going to show you exactly how to win at it. See you then. The journey to financial harmony isn't a straight line, but with these systems, you're on the right path. Take a breath, trust your partner, and keep the focus on what truly matters to both of you. It isn't about being perfect, it's about staying connected. And remember, you've got this. Final thought for the day: money is just a tool for the life you want to lead, not the goal itself. When you stop letting it define your arguments, you start letting it fuel your dreams. Everything changes the moment you realize that. Take care.